By the end of 2026, 40% of the apps your business runs on every day will be secretly operated by AI agents. And the platform you bet on today could bleed you for $36,000 a year or save you from total engineering ruin. Next 5 minutes, the three-layer stack smart operators are quietly building.
By the end of 2026, 40% of the enterprise apps you use every single day will be secretly operated by task-specific AI agents.
Yeah, it is a completely wild shift.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is to unpack this really exhaustive 2026 report on the AI automation landscape.
Because we are moving from these simple trigger-based workflows to fully autonomous digital workers, and we need to help you figure out which infrastructure to actually bet on.
Right, because AI agent tooling just exploded, didn't it? Like 300% in 2024 alone.
Oh, absolutely. We are not just connecting apps anymore. We are deploying actual reasoning engines.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because old automation was basically like having an intern fetch you coffee based on, a strict sticky note.
Yeah, if this happens, do that.
Exactly. But these new AI agents are acting like a chief of staff who can actively negotiate contracts in real time. How are our existing platforms handling this massive leap in cognitive complexity?
Honestly, they are hitting a serious wall. Older platforms just weren't built for cyclical reasoning. Take Zapier, for example.
Okay.
It bills per task. So every single step an AI takes to think or loop back or double check a tool, all of that counts against your quota.
Wait, really? So if the AI decides it needs to verify a piece of data 3 times to be accurate, I get charged for each of those internal thoughts?
You do. And at scale, a 50,000 run monthly workflow can instantly bloat your costs to over $36,000 a year.
That is just a massive penalty just for the AI doing its job.
It absolutely is. And that friction is driving this huge migration toward execution-based billing models like NAN.
Oh, right, because NAN charges differently.
Exactly. Instead of charging for every tiny little step, NAN charges for one end-to-end run. Whether the agent takes 5 steps or 50, it is treated as one execution.
That makes so much more sense.
And it gives you this visual middle ground, right? It has a developer escape hatch where you can drop in custom code when the visual interface isn't enough.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. If NAN solves the billing trap and has that escape hatch, why doesn't everyone just use it for everything? Why bring a heavy code-first platform like LangGraph into the mix?
Because visual builders eventually choke on complex memory. When an AI is doing deep reasoning, it needs to remember what it did 10 steps ago without hallucinating.
So it doesn't just forget what it was doing.
Right. That requires orchestrating stateful loops, basically maintaining this continuous, strictly controlled memory file. LangGraph is built specifically to prevent those lost-in-the-middle errors.
But if LangGraph is the smartest way to keep the AI on track, shouldn't every team just start there?
Well, what's fascinating here is the sheer weight of managing that memory. LangGraph suffers from what we call state explosion.
State explosion. That sounds expensive.
It is. As the agent takes more steps, that memory file gets massive. The AI basically gets crushed under its own context window.
Oh.
Yeah, and managing that infrastructure requires senior AI engineers. We are talking people who command $150,000 to $250,000 a year.
You definitely cannot just hand that to a junior developer.
No, you really can't.
So you are basically trapped. You use Zapier and face financial ruin from per task billing, or you use LangGraph and face engineering burnout managing state explosions.
That impossible choice is exactly why high-performing teams are abandoning platform tribalism entirely. They are building what the report calls a hybrid stack.
I'm trying to picture the architecture here. How do these actually connect without breaking?
Think of it as passing the baton based on cost. You put Zapier on the sensory edge, it just listens for triggers across thousands of niche apps.
Because it's good at that.
Right. But the second it catches a signal, it passes the data straight to NAN. Then NAN acts as the central orchestrator doing cheap, deterministic routing.
Okay, so it handles the predictable logic.
Exactly. And then NAN only wakes up LangGraph, the isolated cognitive engine, for the heavy, complex reasoning.
So it's like a body. Zapier is just the eyes and ears feeling things out. It passes a tiny, cheap electrical signal to NAN, which is the nervous system, and only when a really complex decision is needed does the LangGraph brain kick in to process it.
That is a perfect visualization. It completely isolates that wildly expensive LLM memory management while keeping basic data routing virtually free.
So what does this all mean for you listening? If you're building a system right now, do not fall for the switching cost trap.
Yes, exactly.
Bootstrapping a complex AI agent on Zapier, just because it is easy on day one, is going to punish you with brutal technical debt when you inevitably have to migrate to save money.
You really have to architect for the hybrid reality from the start. But, if we connect this to the bigger picture, there is a massive existential shift happening. Hyperscalers like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI are building native agent environments directly into their foundation models.
Which changes everything.
It really asks the question, will these specialized orchestration platforms even exist in 5 years? Or will they simply be swallowed whole by the AI models themselves?
That completely flips the script.
Yep.
It really makes you wonder, who is going to be in charge of your operations? Are you building an autonomous chief of staff, or are you just renting one from Google until they decide to automate the rest of your company too?
It is definitely something to keep an eye on.
So, are you building an autonomous chief of staff? Or renting one from Google until they replace you too? Take the free AI audit quiz at stress-lessautomation.com/AI-audit. 5 minutes. You'll see exactly where your stack is quietly leaking money. Subscribe. New episode every morning. Tomorrow, we're opening up the AI chatbot trap and what smart businesses are building instead.